Hi guys, welcome back to the Leeds lobby. We're back again. I know it was a short break, but we literally filmed the Rafinha and Phillips video literally 30 seconds ago. So I know the principles haven't changed. If you're here watching with us, then go and subscribe, go and like the video. Please keep us satiated with likes and subscriptions, because it really helps out. Today we're going to be discussing our 5 key moments of last season, obviously our 5 highs of last season, high points, and our 5 low points of last season.
Okay, and the first, for me, should we start with the...
Start with the 5th and then...
should we start with the low points?
Start with the low points, sure.
For me, the low points were the injuries. We had a situation at one point where we got Luke Ayling out.
Patrick Bamford,
we got
Calvin
Patrick
Phillips,
Bamford,
Liam
Cooper. We were just absolutely decimated, and it showed a weakness. And that's had an effect on our under 23s, which got relegated. We've been investing in all these youth players. Incidentally, I just want to make a note of, and actually have a conversation a little bit about Darkper, who's that 18-year-old that we seem to be getting from Man City. And I just want to point out, I've been speaking to somebody who was a scout, who's been saying that this is a player that has been much touted at 18-year-old. And I have to say, guys, you don't buy football players at 18 years old for £5 million that don't change hands for that readily. This is a box-to-box midfielder. That is somebody that many people are expecting him to break into Leeds squad this year and to actually have match time in the first team this year. This is somebody who's...
I think it does help with the 5 substitutions as well. It will be.
This guy's a prodigy. This is somebody that we will eventually get to either play in the first team or will sell on for a significant amount of money. He's somebody that is an absolute talent. So somebody to keep an eye on. But again, our youth team...
He's in no way the Calvin Phillips replacement, though. I don't think that
he's...
Not now, Ian. No. Calvin Phillips replacement. We're still trying to work out who that's going to be.
Yeah,
For me, my lowest point was obviously what most of your lowest points would be, and it was Marcelo Bielsa's exit from Leeds United.
Yeah.
Because obviously it was completely... It wasn't unexpected, but it was a very random time. We'd just been mauled by Everton, mauled by Man U, mauled by Liverpool, mauled by Spurs, all in succession. But then we seemed to have quite an easy run of games. We had Leicester, we had Villa, then we had Norwich, then we had Wolves, then we had Southampton, Palace, Watford was in there. We had like a very easy run of games that the board chose to sack him at an unexpected time. And we were all, who's he going to bring in? Will they bring in Valverde? Will they bring in Corberan? Will they bring in Marsh? And they did bring in Marsh and we did stay up, but I think Marcelo Bielsa's sacking did hit close to home.
I actually think that, again, one of my low points was that transfer window in January when we just brought we were linked with everybody.
That's a good one.
And we brought nobody in. And I actually think that the knock-on effect of the two things, first and foremost, the transfers, but also the lack of depth in squad in terms of how many first team players we had out at one point, had a knock-on effect with Bielsa, because we had a situation where we were just shipping goals. I mean, seriously, it was like, I don't know, it was really bad. I remember we went to a corporate hospitality event before Christmas to watch, we went to Ellen Road, and we live in Nottingham.
Hour and a half drive.
And we drove an hour and a half to get there. We sat in the corporate hospitality, the outside event, and there was pie and peas or something like that, and we sat there and Beckford compared it, and we were awful. I mean, we were just as bad as I've seen at Leeds.
We were in a position with the injuries where we had Jamie Shackleton starting at right back against Manchester City. In what world?
Yeah, really poor.
Another one of my low points would be when would be the third goal that Man U scored against us. In the we pulled it back to 2-2. Absolute limbs. I think Rafinha came on. James crossed it in against his former club. He got the assist. Rafinha slid in and scored. And then
we looked like we got away back into the game.
Yeah, it was 2-2. We pulled it back from 2-0 to 2-2. Like we could get something here. And even a point against Scumchester would be absolutely mental. But then the moment where I'm pretty sure it was Elanga and Fred both scored, and the third goal was just particularly
Yeah, we our season got off to a really, really bad start. But again, it went downhill, and we were nail biting towards the back end. Bielsa went; we'd still not actually got into the bottom three. From our point, it was a season where we didn't have many good things happening.
Yeah.
But then when we look at the bad points, we look the last few games, and Luke Ayling had that rash challenge.
Dan James had a red card.
Dan James, what were you doing, mate? I mean, it was
Stuart Dallas's injury.
But Ayling, it was GBH. I mean, what were you doing? What were you thinking? You just like decided that you were. I'm like a moment of madness that was just completely unwarranted. I'm not even sure that Luke Ayling, he's now out. Obviously, he's injured, but right when we needed him, right when he needed the team to come to the fore, we got these rash challenges going in, and it was just like, it was absolutely, the discipline in it was ridiculous. And it weren't even it were Firpo, who just seemed to drag somebody to the ground within the first 10 minutes of every single game and get a yellow card almost immediately in every single game. It was somebody who's not actually got that bad a disciplinary record. And then Dan James.
Yeah, continue. My one of my low points, again linking to the Arsenal game, but it was the full-time whistle at Arsenal, because even points with Burnley. Burnley have just pulled it back from 1-0 down against Watford and 1-2-1. We're in the relegation zone as it stands, 2-0 down to Watford, and then our first corner of the game, I think it was Rafinha crosses it in, Firpo flicks it on, and Llorente just taps it into the net. And then that's the point where this could be a Wolves game. This could be where we pull it back to 2-2 and maybe even win the game. But the last sort of 1 minute, we had a few free kicks here and there. We really looked like we were gathering momentum. We looked like we could score. James was running down the middle. He's nearly through on goal, and then the referee gave a free kick to Arsenal, and then the whistle blew. So that was the point where we were in the relegation zone for the first time in the season.
Yeah. And that was, watching Leeds grind results out towards the back end of the season and see those teams that were around us also grinding results, and seeing that the fixtures for Leeds were becoming less favourable. Watching Everton, did they beat Man U, was it?
Yeah. Burnley beat Wolves.
Yeah, but Everton started getting results. I really wanted to see Everton go down.
Yeah,
I really wanted to see Frank go down. I'm sure he would have appealed it somehow.
Yeah,
been the FA Golden Boy. Did the Referee Association come out and actually apologise to Frank Lampard?
Yeah, because of a penalty against Man City.
What's all that about? Some of the decisions we've had on VAR this last couple of seasons, where Patrick Bamford's pointing to where he wants the ball, and he's offside here. You can't even play the ball with that part of your body. Stuff like that. Yeah. And Frank Lampard's getting an apology.
Wouldn't have been pointing to the ball because he's been on the treatment table throughout the season.
Well, yeah, you've actually got to be on the pitch to get done by VAR.
They'd find a way for one of the substitutes to be offside. Even Nohan Kenner getting a yellow card without even coming on the pitch. Yeah. Gets a yellow card. This is a kid he's now left us for the Irish League, I think. But this is a kid who's never played a single minute of Premier League football. He's got more yellow cards than he does minutes of Premier League. He's got more yellow cards than he does seconds of Premier League football.
Yeah, and then I think one of the low points of the season, and this is the pivot because I'm going to start coming to high points now. I think one of my low points for the season was actually turned into probably one of my top high points, which was, what was the player that got sent off in the final game of the season?
Sergi Canos.
What, like if you were Peter Kay, you'd say, what a knobhead. Yeah. I mean, this guy is missing all season. He loves to score against Leeds. He's only bothered about scoring for Leeds. He comes on the pitch and he's right up for that Leeds game, to the point where he scores a goal that's an equalising goal, and it's not even...
Brentford would have still finished, I think it was 12th. Brentford would have still finished 12th.
It's a nothing game for them. It's a nothing game for them. And he scored, and he's so elated that he's took his shirt off and thrown it to the crowd. He's like, yeah, I've scored against Leeds, a goal that means nothing for Brentford whatsoever, because they hate Leeds so much. And picks his yellow card up. And then he does that challenge and gets him sent off. Warren Obed. I
love the Leeds commentary as well. You could the Leeds commentary, if you used to go back and listen to it, they were just laughing about it. But that's what happened. Thomas Frank Put him on. This guy's a right winger and a striker. Thomas Frank brought him on and put him at right back because obviously Ayer went off injured. And he put him at right back. He tried to make a tackle to prove himself. Tackled Rafinha. I think it was
second
Rafinha.
yellow and he were off.
Completely. He's off.
What really entertaining.
I turned around and said to my dad, worst of the dad was, he's off.
I think last time I laughed so much was when I think it was early on in the season when Solskjaer saw that Liverpool fixture coming up. So he rested 2 or 3 players. Was it against Leicester? He rested players against Leicester, thinking he could win that game, and he got beat by Leicester. And then with all the players back, he also got beat like Liverpool.
Was Watford.
Was it Watford?
It was Watford.
Oh my word! I mean,
they lost 4. I think it was 4-3 to
Solskjaer
Watford.
was a gift. It was a gift.
Agent Solskjaer.
You know what? Unbelievable for Leeds United. The comedy of watching Solskjaer, almost like Harry Maguire, and watching how bad Harry Maguire is for 85 million.
Another high is obviously, I think there's an obvious high. There's 2 obvious highs that you could pick, and one of them being the Joffrey winner versus Norwich.
Oh,
he loves a late goal. He does, Joffrey.
Sublime. And I'm just so looking forward this season to seeing him, and again what he's going to turn into in this next 2 or 3 years. Because I think you know, it's just. Honestly, just that little bit different. It's just that little bit different. He brings something to the team.
Prodigy.
And I've seen him in the under-23s, and I've seen him in the full squad. Him and Greenwood, to be honest with you. I like Greenwood as well.
John Gallagher up front, Gallagher and
disproportionate
Bamford
effect on the season.
Front, Greenwood behind.
Yeah, disproportionate effect on the season for the amount of minutes they've had.
Yeah, should have had more in my opinion. And I think another high is the winner versus Wolves. I think when we were watching this game, the whole street must have heard us screaming. Right, we went into the game. This is what it's still 0-0. My dad said, I think it's going to be 2-0 to Wolves, and I said I think we'll win. I always predict Leeds to win. I always say we're going to win, but we went. It's half time and it's 2-0. And I want to go get some popcorn to eat, sit and watch the game with. And my dad said, why do you want to go get popcorn? Because it's obviously we may as well just not bother watching the game. We're going to get hammered. We're going to get.
It was a 2-0 early as well, so it looking like we're going to go the same way as the other games.
I said to my dad, just keep the faith. We were 3-1 down at Villa, and we drew 3-0. We managed to pull it back to 2-2 against Man U. Just keep the faith, yeah. And obviously Harrison scored, Rodrigo scored, and then Aylin. Just the finish of a striker and then the roly-poly of a gymnast.
yeah, he won't like the microphone corner flag.
I don't think he's ever taken that bobble out of his hair again.
No, I don't think he is. But and was it also the West Ham game as well? That West Ham and that Wolves game.
West Ham was a good one.
We played
Jack
really
Trick Maradona.
well. Yeah, and we were up against it. And this is where I'm just looking forward to seeing what we're able to produce this next season. I mean, I don't think the final day, literally coming down to the last 10 minutes, I don't think I've ever seen a relegation battle like it.
Great escape.
Okay, going and securing the fact we stayed in the Premiership against Arsenal all those years ago. I think the only story you could compare it to is possibly Leicester in terms of the Great Escape and being like the bookies' favourites to get relegated. Me and my dad have spoken, and I've done research into it since, and there was one betting company who paid out on Leeds getting relegated this season. There was one, it was a single, I don't know what it was, it might have been Easy Bet, but there was a single betting company who actually completely paid out on Leeds getting relegated on the final day, and we stayed up. So thanks ever so much for watching the video.
Thank you for watching.
Please, again, if you haven't already, bang that subscribe button and the like button. We'd love to get up the algorithm and for people to be seeing our videos.
Yeah.
Any comments, just put them in the below. If there's anything we've missed from this season,
if you're seeing this on our face on one of the Facebook groups that we tend to put these on, go and share it to your friends. Go and send it to your nieces and your nephews and your grandmas and your great grandmas. Send it around.
Great grandma.
Send it around.
We'll see you soon.
Goodbye.